Okay, I want to make a review, but I'm too busy today. Good thing I got this robot I never use sitting around. Just gonna turn him on.
Hello, 66 Gummy Beans. I am REWORDS, and welcome to English Transfers Review. And I know what you're thinking from that title. No, this isn't a game about religion, or anything of that sort. This is a space FPS game that has interchangeable AI between human and AI. Oh, fuck you. Sorry. Uh, basically what that means is when a person leaves, an AI replaces it. The multiplayer is 32 player 32 player multiplayer. I am a robot and somehow I'm not processing all this information. But I'm also a very dumb robot, I guess. Meh. And judging from like when I saw this trailer, yep, I was just blown away. You can get me to buy almost anything that has something overly badass into it but also has ambition thrown in. Before I bought this game, I actually watched a review. And the reviewer in particular actually said that this was a game that started off as a mod for some game I can't remember the name of. I'm gonna guess Gothic Thread if that has mods. Actually, yeah, I think I saw that on the mod list for the Nexus. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I saw it in the Nexus. Either way, that it was a mod that it's something that started off as a nice little space mod, and then the developer just went, "Holy bejeebus, I'm gonna go crazy with this shit," and went nuts. He did. This game is. I have no idea what stage it's in. I did not. From the looks of it, it almost feels like it's in the beta because everything just seems really polished. I haven't really come across any glitches, at least not game breaking. Anything. No. I put like 10 to 11 hours on this game, and what I can say is that this is amazing. Everything from the, to me, everything from the graphics and every overall design is pretty nice because if you actually look at the ships individually from the two different factions, they're not just different color wise, they're actually difference in both shape and ship design and interior ship designs, what I should be saying. Boo 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 boo. And there's also this feature called commanders have where you have a person or AI command a team of 8 people. Is that counting me? No, that's not counting me. Yeah, counting you would be 9, I guess. And now you can either choose to tell your men to go to the spot all together, or separate them, separately choose the men that you want to go there if you know who they are and all that. Every AI actually has their own set name, and within your squad, it can be, it can end up being mixed between your friends and AI or just flat out AI. If you somehow manage to get into a game that actually has everybody, as a human, then what's the point? It also has a very interesting leveling system because here's the thing. There is no levels. At least not in the traditional sense. You see, the levels are really done like this. There's command points, there's combat points, and there's support points. These points count to your overall budget, and your budget actually controls how much you bring into a fight. So a person with high combat points can bring in some really heavy some really heavy rain here. somebody with support points can actually bring in something that can actually help the entire team all together. And if you're like me and you try to balance that all out and you didn't realize you were balancing all out until just like yesterday, like seriously, everything is at 9 already and I didn't even mean for it to be. Level 9 combat, level 9 commanding, level 9 support. I'm pretty sure that's not as, as big as everybody else's points and all that. Oh yeah, and one thing that surprises me is that servers get into the, people in the amount of people inside of a server, the amount of healing people is in the single digits, while the subscribers for the channel of this video game, the Angels Fall First video game, has 1,235 subscribers. And one thing I'm actually rather impressed about this developer is that he's rather transparent. As in, he may not talk, but he's actually willing to throw some devlogs in there and show how the process is done silently, never talking. Almost like if he's trying to be creepy. Either way, the channel is called AF Universe. Honestly, short for Angels Fall First Universe! Yeah. Now, you might think that sounds pretentious, but on that, the reason why it's like that is because he actually goes into the lore of his own game. Because Angels Fall First, as far as I've seen, has no tutorial. And I don't know, probably the briefings would actually give you some lore, but you don't really need any of it to know that you're just going to be shooting a whole bunch of people in the face. And if I had to guess, it's more like a Imperials versus Rebels thing. It even has a, motive, like the two factions fighting each other. Like this one I've seen, it has, it was called Crow Day Massacre, right? Crowing Day Massacre, I think that's the right name. Yeah, I gotta call it the Crowing Day Massacre, because I think that's how it was spelled. I'm an idiot. Either way, why do I keep saying that? It's so stupid. Where was I? Where was I? Alright. Crowing Day was the day the rebels came and basically just fucked up an entire base that you can actually play on in this game, which is like, wait, what? It actually makes less sense to me. Oh wait, no, it actually makes more sense now I think about it. Because, okay, the rebels came, and the gist of it is that they came and shot up the place and immediately went into that weird circle jerk ship command formation. I have no idea. Nobody decided to name that formation, and that's common in space things. It kind of reminded me of like that scene in Halo where all of the frigates are shooting at that thing. That thing in Halo 3, and it basically caused a black hole or whatever to come out of nowhere, and all the ships just start getting sucked into it. That last part wasn't, in it, but the initial firing reminded me of it. Kind of wish there was sad music, because then that probably would have added to the entire tone. Because it looked like it was a hopeless fight. But then there was just like a few security ships coming out. It was actually kind of awesome. I love this game. I'm trying to think of mechanics and how I can describe the rest of them. Oh yeah. Actually, I have no idea of the names of these ships or even how to pronounce them. I just go the when you're playing alone, you instantly have the choice to fly the capital ship. And that ship, in my opinion, decides the fate of the game. You choose to be passive, and sure, you'll be able to have, sure, the game will endlessly kind of go on with the bots trying to capture the points and having to fly around the other guy's mothership. But at the same time, you're risking the other guy's mothership to directly interfere really heavily and cause a lot of influence within the map. What I always thought was the best option is to kind of put as much effort as possible into taking down that one ship. And just like in the review for that Battlefield game, darn it, I think it was Battlefield 2132 or whatever. It was the space battlefield. If I had to describe it, for those that want to focus on the ship, I say it goes into multiple stages. Stage 1 is the initial trying to get there phase. To actually try to board it, you actually need a special ship called the drop ship. And the drop ships have this carry a box that all the men get to stay inside of. And the dropships have to dodge all these, all the hail of bullets because these ships are armed to the frigid teeth. When you get close, you better bet you're gonna be flying like some mad Star Wars pilot thing. I only seen Star Wars and Star Trek. I kind of want to watch the movie Valerian, but I heard that was shit. Sorry, but I like stories in my coffee. Shit, went on a tangent. Alright. Either way, there's a spot where your dropship goes to, which is called the breach point. And the breach point is where the dropship just drops off that box. Now, the enemy can counter the basically what the dropship does is literally breach a hole into the ship, and if it actually stays in there long enough, it actually causes the ship to start depressurizing, therefore eventually causing full suffocation in the ship. But that's not enough to take it down, because the little box that you came in is visible from both the outside and inside and can be blown up. Rather easily, I would say. But at the same time, it makes sense why it's so easy. For a game being early access, I actually never felt any one ship was overpowered. Now, it actually makes a lot of sense to me on how ships are balanced. Tiny ships, they can distract the bigger ships, but they can't destroy them by themselves. Big ships take out big ships. Small ships take out small ships. It makes perfect sense in my head. Why is these things disappearing? Where's that? There's a box. The box is gone. Box. There it is. Got me worried. Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's one fucking badass thing that's almost it's on a good percentage of the ships. And it's actually weaker on the smaller ones, but it's super powerful on the capital ship. And it kind of makes it a little fun, but the slowness, the overall grinding to what almost feels like a full halt in terms of speed in the ship, kind of makes it a bit of a dread. But again, it's balancing. if these ships can go as fast as a fighter, the battles would be pretty weird. And wouldn't feel as, a space battle that you would see in UNSC, where the pillar. Actually, what do they call those things? I just know the Pillar of Autumn. I have no idea what do they call those ginormous ships. So for now, I'm just gonna call them Pillar of Autumns. So the Pillar of Autumns, they are slow-moving ships in space, even though there's nothing stopping you from going as fast as, faster than anything. In space, there is nothing to stop you from moving. So it just feels weird when you're in my head and thinking about all these physics of space. That only makes sense when you're on a planet. And you can't make the excuse that these things are in an atmosphere, because these ships don't look like they would last a second in an atmospheric environment. Mostly because they only have back thrusters. Capital ship might, but I don't feel that the fighters would. Yeah, to me that's just it's just weird, but I love it. There's a love-hate relationship here, and that's because balancing is that relationship. It's the romance that you never wanted. Because everybody wants to be the top dog, and nobody wants to be the underdog. That's why balancing exists. I am rambling, aren't I? Why do I turn into an old man? If I were to describe this game in one word, I would say it's ambitious. Because the maps feel, each map feels different. Except for when you really look at the game modes, because there's only territories and a different version of territories that's just that's technically 2 layers, but really it's just 1 layer. They didn't make a name for it. They didn't make a name for the other one. There's only the regular maps, and then there's the maps that have territories on it. And territories is basically conquest. Battlefield conquest. Except with no flags. But the other version, which is my favorite, is where you have to stand in front of a console for a few seconds so you can put down this massive hacking chip thing. Say it's super massive. And then you have to wait there for a good, I think it's 2 minutes. And it's just a bit funner to me. And also throughout the map you can actually collect LZs. You just have to stand there to capture them. It actually helps change the dynamic of the map, because then who has the LZ actually kind of owns that little bit of area right there, and actually has the ability to spawn right at that LZ at all times. There's nothing stopping you. Absolutely nothing. Especially considering that the crates, not crates, the drop pods, I guess you could say, actually have a really hard to destroy ginormous gun on it. Can you stop turning off on me? Please? I am trying to make a video here that is devolving to nothing. Alright. Either way, Angel's One First is like if PlanetSide 2 had ambitions, care, and knew how to make fun of itself. Because in one of the it's actually in the Steam, one of the Steam trailers, It was the trailer that it was the overview. There we go. The developer made an overview of his own game, and when he was showing the choice of servers, he actually made fun of how there's so little public servers available, and I can understand why. People are afraid of multiplayer. There's no real incentive to go to it because, well, it's like either you do co-op or you play by yourself in people's minds. And I can respect that. You can choose to have your server be private and just play with your friends, or you can go on a public, or you can make your server public. Personally, I don't want to see what would happen. I don't want to go into a game that actually has people. I personally want to see this game move on, go higher in life. Because to me, this game, this is like if a AAA developer made this game would be selling like, I'd want to say hotcakes, but that sounds cliche, but I said it anyways. In all honesty, this is probably something that EA would ship out in a week, but I don't know how big the developer team is. In all honesty, I just assume it's like one guy, or maybe like a small group of guys, because I don't read credits. I'm actually looking at the YouTube channel right now. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to say is that he even has a community channel that people can go to. I'm not sure if you just ask, hey, do you want your video here? Do you want it here, man? It won't get any views, but it'll be nice. I love the community. Peace. I can just imagine like an awkward man being like trying to talk to these people, going like asking for these videos because people stream this shit. It's amazing. One thing that annoys me is that everybody likes the groundwork. I love space more. I think more attention needs to be thrown at space. I want more ships because I'm an asshole. I love ships. You throw anything with a ship at me, and if I can get out of that ship, I'm probably gonna play that ship like no tomorrow. I also expect more of these reviews in this kind of style. Hopefully I get better at, talking about these games. After all, I used my bad games reviews thing. My rules for reviewing are this. The game has to be obscure. It has to be a little bit unknown or forgotten by people. And it could also be a bad game. Because I like throwing attention at it, and when I look up, game reviews for random video games I find on Steam, it just saddens me that there's no reviewer for it. No one bothered. It's like, oh yeah, this game's good, but I'm not gonna give a review on this. Mostly because the YouTube community for reviews is really toxic, and if you give the wrong review, you're gonna get fucked in the asshole. Like for instance, if you try to give Uncharted 4 a 5, say it's an average game, you will be destroyed by the community and be petitioned to be thrown out of this earth via rocket ship. That's basically the community behind reviews, and I can see how that can be discouraging. Honestly, I don't think I can really work scales correctly because I don't really know how scales would work. But in all honesty, if I have to give this thing an arbitrary number, considering that it has separate, like it has completely separate player armors, light, heavy, and balanced, and they have their consequences to them, and even choosing a gun has a consequence, and there's a point to actually using your weapons and doing things correctly and commanding. I don't know, I guess I'd put it, I am really iffy on this one. I think 7.5 or even an 8. I actually fucking love this game. And if you don't want to find me, well, you're not going to be able to because I play this game alone. Unless you stay around unless you want to go to the all space maps thing. I want people that play on the space maps. I want to see how people act on this game. I'm bored of playing with AI, but I also love it so much. The role-playing aspect, there's so much potential. So much. For me, I kind of make my story of that. I'm a nice little field commander trying to just make it out there. Just trying to survive in this cold, damp universe. Well, damp, no. Everything's actually surprisingly dry. I got a suggestion for the developer. If you can somehow add in, working weather mechanics, like something that would actually change the way the battles work. Because sometimes battles are a bit one-sided. I forgot to mention this one thing about ground territories. Sometimes the other team, the team that's actually defending will own all the will be the one owning all things. But no, it's not territories, it's the regular one. Understandably, the teams that are defending own all the territories. I keep referring to as territories, but come on, it's basically territories. What I love the most is actually the debriefing room. I keep talking, but the debriefing room is awesome. It's, either way, to me, that's Angel's Fall First. A game that's gonna continue growing, and I hope only for the best of it. Remember, drink lots of coffee and bye. I'm bad at outros. I'm a robot.
Hello, my 66 coffee beans. I'm Java, and I would just like to thank you guys for watching today's video. This is more of an experiment than anything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't really, as you can tell, I no script as usual. Either way, I hope you guys like this. If you guys don't, I won't do it again. So, yeah, I don't know how to do these things. Bye, and I care for you.